This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. There we go. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling good, brother. It's Friday. Weekend's right here. We got 3 spring practices in the books. It's been a good week, man. Spring break is on the corner for all these guys, so they're off next week. But life's good. How are you doing?
Good. Who knows? You might even be able to go to Miami Beach and not put your life at risk.
That's right. We actually be able to enjoy it, right?
By the way, I freaking love that promo that they put out that we're breaking up with you. It's not us, it's you. Have you seen it? Have you seen
I have not. I've heard about it. I have not seen it.
I found it hilarious because I remember when they kicked us out in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we were just partying, bro. Remember back in those days, we were just getting drunk. That's all it was. You know what I mean?
Good old days.
Yeah, it wasn't like we were jumping on cars and people were getting shot. There were no guns, none of that kind of crazy ass shit like was going on now. So it's like, it's amazing, dude, to see what's going on. So you might be able to enjoy yourself at South Beach now, even on spring break, even though I would never go there during spring break because I'm sure it would be. I'm sure. Plus, it's probably just cops everywhere, dude, having to stop people because they can't trust anything that's going on. You know?
Yeah, I will not be going to South Beach during spring break. I will be going when the rest of the world decides to not be on South Beach.
Exactly. That's what I did when I took my wife. I took my wife on her birthday to Versace's house. You know that's a restaurant now.
Really? I didn't know they had turned into a restaurant. Okay.
Oh, dude, it's an excellent restaurant. Great ambiance. So if you ever want to take the wife somewhere nice there, and
what kind of cuisine? What are they serving up?
Everything. They got a little bit of everything, but it's Italian. You got Italian mainly. It's from there, but then they got some other things on the menu. But it is fantastic, bro. Service is excellent.
All right, gotta check it out.
Really, really, really cool, man. And then you could like kind of take a walk around the house. You know, so it's actually pretty cool, man. It's like something that historic. So
right.
As you're walking, I'm sure everybody as you're walking and go, damn, they shot him right here. That's kind of what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? But
that's like when I go to Dallas and I go to where JFK shot. It's kind of morbid, but it's people still. It's a famous scene. Everybody wants to be there.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely. I've never done that. I've never gone to the area where JFK. But I've only been to Dallas a couple times. And I think it was like Super Bowl week was one. Yeah, it was Super Bowl week, and I was too busy doing. Plus, it was snowing. That's right. We had you couldn't even be. You didn't want to be outside actually that week. Now that I remember, it was terrible, dude. So yeah,
that wasn't a great weekend in Dallas, but
no. You hearing anything about the Canes getting drafted?
I think Cam Kitchens is probably the highest prospect they've got in this group. I mean, a guy that's probably a day 2 guy. I think Javion Cohen and Matt Lee are day 3 guys. I think James Williams is probably a day 3 guy. Leonard Taylor potentially a day 2 guy.
One of our listeners wants James Williams in the first round.
Yeah, I don't see how you can get a guy who's really not a safety, who's really more of a linebacker that needs to be taught that position in the NFL, no less, in the first round. That's a really risky pick. Now, had he been playing it in college?
Wait a minute. Golden something linebacker, Ohio State. The Jets drafted him. Golston, something like
Nate
that.
Golston?
No, I don't think it was Nate Golston. But anyway, reminds me a lot of Williams, right? A superb athlete. I mean, he is on the all runway team. Like you're looking at that plane out on the runway.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're going, hey, it's a Boeing 737. They're falling apart. And Vernon Golston, thank you. And so all of a sudden, you're a Boeing 737 and you're falling apart all over the place. And Vernon Golston was that guy. And you make a great point that you have to teach him linebacker, right? Do you know what Vernon Golston's problem was? he couldn't drop in space.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how fast he could run like a deer, but he couldn't find anybody out in space because he would
Right.
get beat right away and all that. And it's a great point you bring up because you could be supremely gifted. It doesn't mean you'll have the instincts of a lot. That was my problem with Ryan Tannehill. That I would
Right.
tell everybody he doesn't have quarterback instincts. He's an athlete playing the position. So that's why he doesn't sense anything. That's why he takes stupid sacks. That's why he has no anticipatory skills or anything like that, because reminded me of that guy with the Jets who was a god of an athlete, but he
Right.
just wasn't a football player, and that was his problem.
Yeah, and I think with a guy like James Williams, there's too many miscues in the open field, right, in coverage, and sort of blown assignments, so to speak, at times with him. I think he's an excellent tackler. I think he's a guy that, again, to me, I think of Ray Armstrong. It's a very similar player. Ray Armstrong was a big guy. He ended up catching on with the Rams.
Two down
Uh,
linebacker.
yeah, two down linebacker. I think James Williams essentially is that. Now he probably has a higher ceiling than Ray Armstrong does. I think James is, a little bit more talented than Ray was, but again, he's got to be in the right system and he's got to have the right coach and kind of some patience with the organization.
Right. You're going to have patience because you're rolling the dice and you got to hope that he has the instincts to play
Mm-hmm.
that future position because he's too big to be a safety. Sean, what were you going to say?
Say Golston was the 6th pick overall with the Jets. He did the 3 seasons with the Jets. He's all-time mainly on special teams, totaling 13 tackles, 5 solo. In his second year, he had 17 tackles. Then he spent 10 and 11 on the practice squad and was cut by the Bears and Rams.
Right. The good thing about James Williams, unlike Vernon Golston, right? You spent the 6th overall pick in the draft. You're going to get
Right.
Williams in the 3rd round, 4th round. So it's more of a project. So if you miss on it, it's not the worst thing in the world. But if you hit on it, you have potential that if he does have the instincts, then that's when you might get 1st round return. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you want a project. You don't want to reach for the project. You want the project to fall to you instead. And I think that's the good thing for James, that I don't think anybody's going to be reaching for him, but he's going to fall to somebody. And you know what I mean? It's going to be worth the gamble where you take him.
Yeah. Again, I think if I'm running an NFL organization, unless I absolutely fall in love with them through the interview process and really think I have the right coaching staff to make the most of them, I'm probably taking them in the fifth round or later.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, so what's new this week in Canes land?
Well, I mean, listen, again, they're in shorts. Today they were in shoulder pads, so you saw a little bit more, thudding, so to speak, as they like to use that word, right? Thudding. They're not in full pads yet, but look, Cam Ward, I think, has been pretty much unreal this first week. He took the offensive line out to eat all 18 guys, not just the scholarship guys. Everybody who's there took them out to Fogo de Chao, which is all you can eat Brazilian
All right.
churrascaria.
So
Yeah, so he's
it wasn't like IHOP. He actually like, all right, bro, spending that NIL money. Yeah, baby.
yeah, he's thrown a Super Bowl party at his place, and how much does Fogo de Chao run anymore? I mean, I gotta look at the price, but some are probably what, $50 a person, something like that. So
Maybe closer to 75, but yeah.
maybe closer to 75. I don't know, whatever the math is nowadays. Everything's much more expensive, right, than it used to be. But
Sean is looking at it right now. He's looking it up right now.
yeah, so
I think he wants to go now. That's probably what it is.
so probably upwards of about $1,000, right, on dinner for his teammates. It's worth it in the end, right? You're building some bonds. You're getting those guys eager to play for you. So, look, he's done all the right things, and I think one criticism of Tyler Van Dyke while he was here was, is he invested enough in the rest of his teammates? Is he invested enough? I think Tyler tried, but I think some guys just don't have it in them, right, to be natural born leaders in the sense where they want to take on every guy, right? I think Tyler had his favorites. He had Xavier Restrepo. He had other guys, Elijah Arroyo, guys that he got along with, that he had good relationships with, but it wasn't everybody in the offense. I think right now that's what Cam Ward is trying to do. I think that's what Mario Cristobal wants Cam Ward to do, to win his teammates over, and so that's happening. And I'll say this: I think the receivers will look really, really good. Now, is that a product of the DBs not being as good? Probably, but Don Solinger, who was a Miami assistant for a long time, for those of you who don't remember Don Solinger,
Yeah, man.
coached the greatest running back room in probably college football history with Willis McGahee. And
Southridge teams, man. Yeah.
he was there. He watched practice today. Don comes by every whenever he can. And I love getting to talk with him after practice just to pick his mind. And he was telling me, man, he's like, I think the talent is back to where it needs to be now. Watching Cam Ward, watching the young receivers like JoJo Trader and Nye Carr and Xavier Restrepo and those guys do their thing. So he these guys are usually honest with me, man. When I ask them, what's your honest take? I got to say, this is probably the most excited I've seen Don Solinger about some of the talent Miami has on its offense in a while.
Well, let's get to the really important information in this interview. How much is it per person?
I feel like we're $62.50 for the Churrasco experience. Okay, but now someone's at the Seafood Tower, it's $109. Wow. And then also, depending on the cuts of meats, you've got a Wagyu New York strip that's $140. A tomahawk is $105, and a Wagyu ancho or ribeye, $150. So depending on which way they went.
Yeah, this might be well over 2,000. I'm guessing. These offensive linemen are not small guys. No. If you look at Markel Bell, who's the JUCO kid that they got, I'm looking at the roster here. Let me see what Markel Bell is listed at. Markel Bell, 6'8", 330. He's more like 350, I think.
That was his bill.
That was his bill individually. I mean, I'm looking at some of the other big boys. Tommy Kinsler, 6'6", 340. Francis Marinoa, 6'6", 330. Jalen Rivers, 6'5", 330. Samson Okalola, 6'6", 330. I mean, this offensive line that he's feeding, there's a 338 here.
I think Cam Ward's fucking broke.
I think he spent a pretty penny last night to make his teammates happy.
I think Cam Ward is next to a Salvation Army bin somewhere collecting now, because to take out that much cattle to dinner, that's a lot.
The real question is, how many cows did they mow down by themselves, right? Like, how many cows did they go through?
A lot more than that storm that went through the top of Dallas. All right, go ahead.
You think Cam's on the phone for an NIL bump today?
For sure. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that they've called the coalition and said, yo, back up the Brinks truck. I need some money, bro. These people are expensive.
I've been told he's making somewhere between 1.2 and 1.5 million for this one season. So I think he can afford some churrasco.
Oh, okay. He's got about the 0.2 left because he left $1 million over there at that place. That's for damn sure. Holy shit. That's amazing. All right. Anything on the recruiting front?
Well, they had 70 guys there today. Some of the best in the country stopped by practice today, including, I think, one of the top defensive linemen, a lot of offensive linemen. I think commitment season's coming up. You're going to start to see more guys start to do this as spring football progresses. I know the staff feels very, very good about the position they're in. And look, I'm not going to say that Miami's going to land the number one class in the country, but could they be top 5 again? I think so, especially if they keep paying the way that they do in NIL. I mean, these guys are getting some really good deals. I think Mario is a hell of a recruiter. We've talked about this ad nauseum, right? How much he sort of infiltrates these kids and gets into their heart, and mom and dad and everybody else. Jason Taylor's still on the staff. I'm sure that helps with the moms quite a bit, Big O. So, they have the thing rolling.
Are you telling me they're sending Jason Taylor in the middle of the night to make love to these moms to bring?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
I don't know, bro. You said to have Jason Taylor should make the moms like, So, my son will come here if I can sleep with him, you know. And so
I think they like the eye
Mario's
candy. Yo. I'm
half
trying
head
to be
coach.
nice about this.
So Mario's half head coach, half pimp. Is that what you're telling me right now?
That's not what I'm saying at all, brother.
Okay, I just want to make sure. What do you got there?
I think I got the billboard for this interview.
Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go. Cristobal pimping out the Canes. That's
There you
it.
go.
That's it. There you go. That's the lead to this one right now. All right.
Well,
I like it. I like it. So, but there's no decisions being made here for a while, right? This is just part of the early.
well, there's a couple kids that want to do announcements at the end of March. So, but in terms of immediate future, I think Amari Wallace, who's a 4-star safety from Miami Central, is a guy who could potentially announce soon if he really wanted to. But again, like you got to remember, like all of this kind of stuff, it takes a while. Like the kids want to, sort of keep this going as long as possible. The one guy I would say they have probably a really good shot at is Tarvis Alford. He's a top 100 linebacker out of Vero Beach. He's announcing March 30. So if you're looking for dates, like when could somebody announce? March 30 is probably the earliest. Although I would, like I just told you, if this Amari Wallace kid wants to commit before, he probably has the green light to.
Okay, now you have mentioned this in the past to us. The next window comes up after this stuff, right? Is there a
April 15th.
All right, so is there a specific position that Miami will be still interested in? And is there, I mean, I don't know if there's any rumblings, right? Because we have to first hear of the grumblings before we start the rumblings, right? I mean, that's kind of the way it goes.
I think cornerback and safety are both positions that, depending on how this spring goes and how guys look here over the next few weeks, is something that I think Miami probably has to get involved in, just for depth purposes. They're very thin at cornerback right now. Damari Brown has not been practicing. They've had 3 to 4 scholarship guys at the cornerback position. They got more safeties, but again, in this secondary, you essentially have 2 guys that have more than 4 career starts. That's Mish Powell, the transfer from Washington, and Daryl Porter Jr. It's hard to go into a season with confidence that, hey, we got to play 3 guys that have never started more than 4 games in college.
Yeah.
In our secondary, 3 of the 5 spots are going to be that young. So I think without question, they will be monitoring the defensive backfield. I think running back is another position. People say, why? They've got all these scholarship running backs. Injuries, right? Guys recovering from injuries. Do they ever really heal right? A guy like Trevante Citizen, who switched his number from number 6 to number 23, gave JoJo Trader, the freshman receiver, his number. Is he a guy that could leave? Is AJ Allen a kid who transferred in from Nebraska? Is he another guy that could leave? You're always in that window where guys could just decide, hey, I don't want to wait, right? So that means you got to go out and replace them. And at this point, the only way you do that is with transfers. So I would say those are the 2 primary positions. I think if another, elite, experienced linebacker like Francis Maui Noah becomes available, you take a look at that as well, because you're kind of young at the linebacker position. You've got Wesley Bissainthe and Maui Goa as the 2 experienced guys. So that's more of a depth, right? Like go out and get somebody who's just played, like KJ Cloyd, like they got him last year, from Louisville, a guy that was a 6th-year senior. Just bring him in and let him come in and be a contributor, rotation guy. So I would say those are the positions that if you're looking for Miami to add, those, in my mind, that's where they look to add.
All right. What do you got going on the Athletics so folks can check you out, my brother?
Well, I just posted a new podcast on Wednesday of the Wide Right podcast. I have some more stories and projects that I'm working on for next week. If people want to check out some of the videos I've been posting on my YouTube page, they want to see some of these guys in action. I get fans all the time saying, send me video. I want to see what this guy looks like. I want to see what, how much bigger is he? If you want to see some clips of guys and how they've changed physically, go ahead and go to my YouTube page and check it out.
By the way, I just want you to know that police have arrested a man with a unique first name following an alleged disturbance in Green Bay, Wisconsin. 42-year-old Deez Nuts Kroll was arrested after an incident involving a gun. Upon arriving at the scene, officers placed 2 individuals in the back of the squad car. Additionally, Deez Nuts was taken into custody, reportedly found standing outside shirtless and appearing highly intoxicated. One witness stated that Deez Nuts had opened the door and punched them with a closed fist in the shoulder, leading to a physical altercation. Then subsequently, D's nuts allegedly obtained a gun. Authorities later seized the weapon and evidence and determined that it to be a CO2 BB gun loaded with 8 silver 4.5 millimeter BBs. So those were,
Wow.
in other words, those were smaller nuts.
Oh, it's Friday, baby. We're feeling the weekend, aren't we?
Yes, we are. See, we got to have some fun in this segment. I think we had enough fun in this segment. But anyway, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work there at The Athletic, as always. Better yet, subscribe. You're not going to get these.
$1 a month right now until the end of March. Sign up.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of nuts to sign up for $1 a month. I mean, really, come on, let's go. No,
That's
let's
right.
go. Sign up $1 a month, and you'll get great insight all across the country and all kinds of teams and everything. So there you go. Manny, have a great weekend, my brother. We will catch up on Tuesday.
All right, brother. Take care. See you.
Thank you, sir. There you go. Manny Navarro, getting it done as always. Caneswear. Oh, man, Brett, always getting it done. I'm telling you, Jeff, all the great people out there, love it, man. Go out there and check it out. 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Anything and everything practically with the Canes logo on it. Stuff for your bar, neon signs, frames, pencils, pens, shirts, hats, you name it, dude. Heat paraphernalia, shirts and jerseys and hats and all kinds of stuff. Inter Miami gear. You want a Messi shirt, you want a Messi jersey, you want an Inter jersey, you want an Inter shirt, hat, whatever it is. They got it all. Marlins, Panthers, Florida. What am I? Marlins, Panthers. What else am I forgetting? Canes, Heat. Inter Miami. I did say Inter Miami. Whatever. Anyways, all 5 local teams. You can find it there at Caneswear. And by the way, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off, whether you go online at caneswear.com or you go in person. And if you want it delivered to your house, and they deliver right away. Jeff and their amazing folks ship everything right away, dude. Jeff is like, he's a beast. Really is. He's a beast. Guy's amazing. So they'll ship it right away, and you'll get free shipping when you order over $99. Check out the Canes sneakers. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff, dude. Caneswear.com.